Some of the examples of when I've used rongoa Māori are based on understanding that there's often threads to disease, there's precursors to disease, and when people come and seek my help, often they fall into 4 categories when they have multiple things sort of cascading in terms of their health. And the first one is loneliness. When people are lonely, they eat differently, they exercise differently, and their health is often not as good as it could be. Then there are people who lack hope. So hopelessness is another thread of disease. And we see this manifesting in terms of addictions, sadly in cases of suicide. Homelessness is another issue. I think if we went and asked many of the people in our prisons today where they truly belong, I think a lot of them would struggle to answer that question off the top of their head. But for Māori, it's even more important than having a warm, dry home with 4 walls and a roof that's insulated. For us, it's about which part or which bit of the whenua do we truly belong, our tūranga waiwai, where we can always go, and no matter what things we may have done in life, we belong. We belong to that place, and nobody can move us on, because that is our tūranga waiwai, bequeathed to us by our tupuna. So when we understand those things, then how we use rongoa Māori to heal can become a little more obvious. The most important part of ensuring that people are well is also to make sure that they understand the unique gifts that people bring to the world, and we all bring something unique, a gift to our community, whether that be our nature community or our human community. When we understand what that gift is, it gives our life purpose and meaning. So when I had a young woman bring her mother to me who was really unwell, she was really worried about her mother, but her mother wasn't happy to share what was wrong. When I asked her mother what was going on, she felt that she couldn't share that with her daughter because she was a burden on them. She was very unwell with arthritis. She couldn't walk to the clothesline to hang the clothes out for her daughter and her children. She couldn't walk to get the post. The noise of the children irritated her, and she had to retract to her room for her quiet. And she just felt like a burden, despite the fact that they tried to encourage her and ensure that she felt welcome at home, that she wasn't prepared to share some of the things that were ailing her. When she shared those with me, long story short, she ended up in hospital for a couple of weeks. While she was in hospital, the daughter and I talked about what her gift had been over the years to the community, and I learnt that she was a weaver. So we arranged for her to be picked up by the local kohanga reo, be taken to the kohanga reo where she would teach the mothers how to weave in order for them to teach our babies. It gave her a whole new lease on life, having a purpose and a way of contributing. Even though she wasn't physically weaving herself, she was able to instruct the mothers, and that turned her health around, and she got a couple more years of really good life despite her illnesses. I remember a comment that one of our rongoa tūhunga is well renowned for saying, and that is that sometimes the best miri we can give is with our mouth, through the kind words that we share with each other. And I think that that is so true. Miri doesn't have to be all elbows and knees and deep tissue work. Sometimes, just being kind to each other is another form of miri that we should recognise. In terms of, using plant medicines, we have an amazing plant called kohe that can help resolve a whole lot of issues that I'm seeing far too often these days in our young wahine, when it comes to hormones, when it comes to fertility, and even when it comes to our older women. with regards to the ease with which they pass through menopause. When we know how to use these plants and we know where they grow and we know how to prepare them, we become part of our healing equation. And I think sharing that with people rather than preparing it for them and giving it to them is also part of the process of healing. It's not just limited to the physical rongoa. It is about immersing people in nature, seeing how their remedy grows, where it grows, how it contributes to its bush community is part of our understanding of our healing. So when I give wahine kohi, often rather than just make it, I will take them into the ngahere, show them how to prepare it so that they are empowered to heal themselves. I never think that healers heal. I think we facilitate healing, but the people involved are the healers themselves. It's not us. And it's their willingness to step into that place of healing that heals them. So for me, those are outstanding examples of how we can use rongoa Māori to heal. Giving back people purpose, reconnecting people with nature, and understanding the value of a kind word are really, really important to our rongoa Māori, and reconnecting with our ancestors. At the end of the day, we are the living face of our tupuna, and we're just one at the end of a very long line, completing the journey that those that went before us began. So when we understand and draw on wairua, then we have a tool that perhaps modern medicine hasn't learnt to use in their healing journey.